Okay, now today is a brand new day and students are waiting for my class. And do you know today's date? Date and day? 12th of 12th of Jesta 2077, right? Okay, students, so class 10, are you ready now? Good. Good, students. We are discussing the chapter History of the Earth. And yesterday, what did we discuss? Could you remember? What was discussed yesterday? They forgot. We discussed geological time scale, means different divisions of geological time scale. The largest division is eon. Then actually there are 3 eons. What are they? Could you remember? Phanerozoic, Proterozoic and Archaic. 3 eons we discussed. And smaller than eon there are eras. Remember the 3 eras? Paleozoic era, Mesozoic era and Cenozoic era, right? And students, what did we discuss next one? Smaller unit afterwards, after the eras, that is periods, right? Periods. And I said you to remember the main periods of Mesozoic era. They are Triassic period, Jurassic period and Cretaceous period.
The time now is 13:20.
Last means youngest one, Jurassic middle one and Cretaceous first one. Those are the periods. And smaller than periods there are epochs. Especially Cenozoic era contains epochs. Other eras do not have epochs. Once I can make concept clear. Largest unit, largest time interval, eon. A bit smaller era, more smaller period, and smallest one is epoch. Okay. And we discuss next thing about the time of amphibians, time of reptilians, and time of mammalia. So Paleozoic era is called era or time of amphibia. Mesozoic era is called era of reptilia, and Cenozoic era is called era of mammalia. Why is it called time? Because during that era, those animals were maximum. They were dominating. If we talk about this present eras, in Cenozoic era, the most dominating organisms are mammals. That's why it is called era of mammals or time of mammals. Student, now I'm going to share the screen. So what does it say? CamScanner. So class 10. Today is Monday. Class 10 PDF I have smart. Let's see what am I going to guide you. Good. Look at here. Screen is already shared. You can find out. Let me enlarge it. Okay. So students, can you see something over here? In today's class, we will be discussing at first fossils. Okay, fossils, that is first heading. Next one is identification of fossils. First, we will discuss what is fossil, how to identify whether it is fossil or not, right? And next thing is process of fossil formation. how the fossils are formed, that will be discussed. And finally, if there is time, we'll be discussing about importance of fossils. And then we'll begin next heading, fossil fuel, and its example, and one fossil fuel will be explained in this class. Dear students, scientists, they study about the past. They can say many things about the past, but how are they able to say? They are able to say the past events by the help of one thing. What is that? Fossil. Now question arises, what is fossil? What is fossil? Student, you know, when you go in government office, now you are in class 10, after 1 year you have to make your citizenship card. In citizenship, you have to use your fingerprints or not? Fingerprints are over there. Or we have seen, if somebody does not know how to read and write, and if the person has to sign, then what do? They use their fingerprints of right hand thumb and left thumb. Those are prints. In the same way, those animals and plants which were found millions of years ago, thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago in the earth, left some prints in rocks, and that print is called fossil. Okay? Their body print. Understood or not? Body print or organs print. Here is given the definition. The mark or hardened remains of a plant or animal that lived thousands or millions of years ago is fossil. Millions of years ago there were plants and animals, and their remains preserved in rocks is fossil. Their whole body part is not available, only print is available. So there may be the fossils of leaves, there may be the fossils of stems, okay, leaves, stems, their cells, outer part, or skeleton. Skeleton is very hard, because our skeleton also is made up of different type of bones, and some archaeologists, means the people who study about ancient things, they visit place to place and they dig the ground. And I read in a newspaper that very old humans skeleton was found in Rupandehi district also. Rupandehi district. I think it was near about 3500 years ago. The human beings used to exist 3500 years ago. Understood? So their hard part kept some print, or some part of that whole body is also found, that is called fossil. Now question arises, where do we get the fossils? We get the fossils in sedimentary rocks. In sedimentary rocks. Students, do you know how many type fossils are there? There are 3 types of fossils. Rocks. There are 3 types of rocks. What are they? Oldest rock is igneous rock. Then a bit young is sedimentary rock. And youngest rock is metamorphic rock. Remember 3 types of rocks? Igneous rock, sedimentary rock, metamorphic rock. Now, where do we get the fossils? We get the fossils in sedimentary rocks. They are found in sedimentary rocks. Actually, sedimentary rocks are formed by deposition of sediment. The question arises, what is sediment? Student, you might have gone near to the river. When the river water flows, it carries various things, no? Dead organisms, mud, pebbles, sand, silt, etc. When they just reach in plain surface, they cannot move very fast. They will deposit at the bottom of the river. And the process of deposition continues and continues, and after a long time, it becomes hard and changes into sedimentary rock. And we get, scientists, they have got the fossils of very, very primitive organisms to very big organisms like that of dinosaurs. They have found very less developed organisms fossils to very large and very gigantic. Here is given gigantic, very big organisms. Dinosaurs' bone also are found in some places. Look here in the diagram, it's shown. Here is one fossils of dinosaur. Here is fossil of microscopic organism. Fossil of ferns leaves. They were found in sedimentary rocks. After the research of many scientists, such fossils were discovered from the earth's surface and presented over there. If you see the fossil of microscopic fossil and traces of fern leaves and skeleton dinosaurs, we can say it is the oldest one.
The time now is
and
13:30.
is the youngest one. If, I'm saying if archaeologists find the fossil of human beings, that will be the youngest one. Understood? Because human beings came into existence in recent years, near about 5 million years ago, like that. Okay, dear students, now let's discuss next heading. What is that? Identification of fossils. How to identify the fossils? To identify the fossil, we have to compare the different shapes and parts of organs. In present day, some organisms are found. Their ancestors' fossils also may be found. Or sometimes we may get the fossils of different type of organisms. So, by comparing it, we can find out. We can identify the fossils. Student, now first point is, first method of identification of fossil is, number one, traces of dead bodies are formed on sedimentary rocks, which can be identified as such fossils. First of all, imprints of the dead bodies present in sedimentary rocks are fossils. So, such sedimentary rocks may contain part of the organism's body or whole part, either some organs or some parts or whole organs. If big sedimentary rock is there, we may get bigger one, otherwise smaller one, isn't it? But it depends upon the size of organism also. If the organism was very small, then we can get whole organisms fossil in one sedimentary rock, isn't it? Alright. Next one is those organisms which contain skeleton, very hard bones, their fossil is found in sedimentary rocks. Hard bones, like we have studied about vertebrates, no? Their whole body parts or the skeleton is also found in sedimentary rocks. Next one, fossil may be found in the form of molds and cast. About molds and cast we will study after this one. And you know, snail its body is covered with shell, or tortoise body is covered with shell. So they are very hard, isn't it? So, and wood of plants also are preserved in sedimentary rocks as fossil because they do not decay. They do not decay. Okay, students. Now let me see what are the students doing. I was just saying alone one thing only. I have to identify the students are paying attention or not. Students, will you make your video on once? Let me see. Okay, Ashok, are you paying attention or not? Yes or no, Ashok? He's not speaking. Good. Barsat? Barsat, are you paying attention and writing something? Barsat, are you writing or not? Okay. Barsat, now Sujina, are you paying attention?
Yes.
And did you write something?
Yes.
Good. So Binay also is there. Did you write something, Binay?
Yes, sir.
Definition of fossils and identification of fossils. You have right. Please listen and write down side by side. Okay. Now who is here? Next one, Sudeep. Sudeep, are you writing?
Yes, sir.
Good. Vivek Shah, are you writing?
Yes, sir.
Good. Sujal. Sujal, are you writing or not?
Yes, sir.
Good. Please write down, and after completion of this explanation, I will ask you what you have written. Okay? It's okay, students. Now let's discuss next thing. Now, students, we are discussing about fossil formation. How the fossils are formed. It is called fossilization. The process of formation of fossil is called fossilization. Okay? So, class 10 students are quite attentive. It's very good. So they have to pay attention a lot because they are going to appear in SE very soon. But one SE exam is not held. But I think their exam may be postponed. Maybe, I am not sure. Now students, here is one term. Just remember fossilization. Fossilization. What is fossilization? The process of forming of fossils. Process of forming of fossils is called fossilization. But question arises, how long does it take to form the fossil? It takes many years. It takes many years. Students, one thing you have to be clear, all the organisms may not be fossilized. All the organisms, fossil cannot be formed. Why? Because the organism may not be pressed hardly, may not go along with sediment, isn't it? So, if their body is very soft, then its fossil cannot be formed. If the body is hard, at that time, fossil is formed. So, you have to keep in mind, all organisms' body may not change into fossils. For that, there must be kept in mind some factors for the formation of fossils or fossilization. So, here we are discussing two factors for fossilization. One is the body should have hard body parts, or the organism should have hard body parts. Whether plant or animal, if the body is hard, it will change into fossil, otherwise it cannot. Second way, the organism must be covered by protective materials shortly after the death. Suppose the organism died, and if it lies on the surface of the earth for sometime, then it cannot change into fossil. To get converted into fossil, what it should get chance? It should be covered by some hard materials, protective materials. Then its soft part will decay and hard part changes into fossil. Okay, so these two factors must be kept in mind. Must be kept in mind. Alright students, now we are discussing some ways of fossilization, ways of formation of fossils. What is the first one? First one says that the animals that live in or nearby water sometimes get covered by the sediment like mud, dirt, gravel and harden into rock. Suppose there was an animal living nearby water or in water, it was covered by mud, dirt, gravel, and what will happen? Slowly that mud, dirt, gravel change into rock, and that hard part of the body or animal changes into fossil, but soft part decays and nothing can be seen. Only the imprint of hard part, or sometimes the hard part is also found in sedimentary rock. And I said earlier, if the running water is carrying dead animals, at that time also there is chance of forming fossil.
The time now is
Second method is
13:40.
some fossils are formed when animals are frozen in ice and preserved to the core. So those animals which are living in very cold areas, they may be buried inside the ice, and ice is also very hard, isn't it? But ice, what will happen? Does not decay the all organism, and that organism will remain there for many years, and its imprint can be found there. It does not decay because ice means very cold region. At cold areas, so the body part does not decay like that, right? Now students, we are discussing the third point. Third point is, what is given here? Organisms are also fossilized in the form of cast in sediments. So, what is given here? The water inside the sediment dissolves the hard parts, leaving a hollow space in the sediment. The hollow shape is called mold. The space is filled with minerals which harden to form a cast. Students, look at here. In the figure you can see this white material. Can you see? What is that? That is the sediment. This white material is sediment, and this black is bed rock. And can you see here something black over here? Let me use a different color. Here is black thing. Sorry, yeah, black thing. Can you see? Let me erase and then show you here. This white is sediment, means that is mud, rock, pebbles, silt, sand, and this black substance, that is the, what is it? Dead organism. Either a whole body part, body organ, or whole body, or some parts only. And it is not very hard. Whole part is not hard. Sometimes what will happen? It will decay. If decays, then hollow structure is formed. That hollow structure is called mold. The hollow structure found in sedimentary rock is mold. But sometimes that hollow structure is filled with minerals and it is called cast. Whether it is mold or cast, there is the remains of ancient plants and animals. That's why mold and cast are also a kind of fossils. Okay, remember. Now students, next point is replacement of mineral instead of organic material of the dead bodies in sediment gets petrified, turns into stone. Oscillation occurs in this way as well. Listen, if you talk about our body contains different type of minerals. Like what type of minerals are they? They are sodium, iron, magnesium, zinc. Our body contains like that. In other organisms also such minerals are present. And when those dead bodies are there in sediment, what will happen? They change into hard material and slowly forms fossils. So there are different methods of formation of fossil. Number one, running water carries the dead plants, animals, deposit in soft areas, the plain areas. Soft body part decays, hard part makes imprint, fossil is formed. Those organisms, those animals, plants which are living in cold areas, they are trapped in ice and change into what? Fossil. Sometimes what will happen? The sediment contains organism, whole parts become soft and some imprint is left. Means at the center of the sedimentary rock there is a hollow part. It is called mold. If that hollow part is filled with some minerals and becomes tight, hard, it is called cast. And if mineral present in dead bodies mineral present in dead body changes into hard substance, then fossil is formed. Different ways of formation of fossils. Now students, we will be discussing next thing, that is importance of fossils. What is the importance? Now let's see. Number one, first importance is it's given here. Now point wise we'll discuss. They provide evidence of evolution of living beings. By the study of fossils, scientists they are able to say that organisms which are less developed were formed earlier. Organisms which are more developed were formed later. If we talk about human beings and bats, which were found earlier, human beings were found later. It's because of their fossils. Second point says, by the study of fossils, we can say, we know many things about extinct animals and plants, which are already disappeared, even though we can tell about them. Oh, such animals used to exist at that time. Mesozoic era completed 65 million years ago. It means dinosaurs extinct at that time, but we are able to say about them. How? Because of fossils. Next important point. They show the history of location from where a fossil is obtained. By the study of fossils, we can say in which area fossils are found, in which area they are not found. And next thing, the area where more fossils are found was the place where there were many plants and animals earlier. By the study of fossils, we can say like that also. Next one, what is the next important point? Fossil fuels like coal and petroleum are the main sources of energy. See, you might have got motorbike. If you don't have, then your family members they own. It needs petrol. My hot body also needs petrol. Actually, that petrol is a kind of petroleum. That is fossil fuel. It was formed from ancient plants and animals. See, very interesting. And fifth point is, by the study of fossils, we can make geological time scale. We can make eon, means, and next one, era, periods, epochs, etc. These are the 5 importance of fossils. Dear students, so now our next heading is to discuss about fossil fuels. Fossil fuels. Now make concept clear. Fossils are the remains of plants and animals, or prints of plants and animals that were present millions of years ago, which is found in sedimentary rock. That remains is found in sedimentary rock, but such animals and plants used to survive millions of years ago. Now, fossil fuels is the fuel which is obtained from the plants and animals which were buried in the ground millions of years ago. Fuel means the substance which burns and gives energy. Understood or not? So, the fuel that is obtained from the plants and animals which were buried inside the ground millions of years ago are fossil fuels. So, fossil fuels are non-renewable source of energy. In the chapter source of energy, we will be discussing about
The time now is
renewable source
13,
of energy and non-renewable
50.
energy. And what are the examples of fossil fuels? Mainly coal and petroleum. There is natural gas also. They are fossil fuels. And fossil fuels were formed by the decomposition of plants and animals which were buried inside the ground millions of years ago. Remember the types of or examples of fossil fuels? Coal, mineral oil, or petroleum, and there is, what's next? Natural gas. Fossil fuels are very, very useful for us because they are used extensively everywhere. Where? In industries, for vehicles, in our kitchen also. Just go to the kitchen, there is fossil fuel. You may say that, sir, what is that fossil fuel? Or that is none other than the gas cylinder. Gas cylinder is not the fossil fuel, but the gas inside the cylinder is fossil fuel. Is that clear? Okay. Now students, we are going to discuss about one fossil fuel, that is coal. Coal is black or brown colored solid substance which is formed by the plants that were buried inside the ground millions of years ago. Especially coal is found in the crust, and the place where more deposit of coal is found, it is called coal mine. Coal mine. I could remember, when I was small, some of my relatives, they used to say that, oh, I will go to Koila Khad and earn money. And I didn't know what was that Koila Khad, but later on I came to know that Koila Khad is the place in India where many people, they go collect the coal from coal mine by cutting it with the help of X, AXE, Banjaro. And they used to earn money, but it is very risky job, isn't it? So students, now we are going to discuss about types of coal. Types of coal. How many types of coal are there? 4 types of coal. What are they? Lignite. Remember the name? Lignite coal, subbituminous, bituminous, and anthracite. Now question arises, how did they categorize this coal? They categorize the coal according to the amount of carbon present in that coal. It means the coal does not contain equal amount or quantity of carbon. Like lignite contains near about 60% carbon, subbituminous 70%, bituminous 80%, and anthracite 90%. You shouldn't say, oh sir, 100%. No. So lignite 60, subbituminous 70, bituminous 80, and anthracite 90%. The coal with more carbon present in it is more qualitative. So here we can say best quality coal is anthracite, and least quality is lignite. Okay, color also different. Lignite brown, subbituminous black, bituminous black, anthracite black and shiny. Price also differs. Lignite is the cheapest, anthracite is the most expensive. So these are the 4 types of coals. Okay students, so in today's class we have discussed the types of coals, fossils, fossil formation, right? Okay students, you have to read this portion once again, set in your mind, make note and submit me as soon as possible. So it is your duty to do so. Understood or not? So study is very important and do well. I will be checking it after some time. So if you are focused in your study, in your activity, you can achieve the goal. But if you are utilizing this Messenger or Zoom or any other these online courses as fun, then you cannot do anything. You are the student who can achieve the goal. You are my alpha students. I have said many times that those students who are talented, who are disciplined, who are genius, who are up to date, who do not say that I cannot, those people are alpha. Your time starts now. Please check the shared portion. I have already shared in the messenger group also, and make attractive note, set in mind and submit to me. If you submit, then you can do the things very easily. So students, you have got the work. I hope you will do better. So today this much. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful time. Bye bye.